All right. A VPC has a non-default public subnet which has 4 on-demand EC2 instances that can be accessed over the internet. Non-default public. I launched a 5th instance using the CLI. They use the same subnet, Amazon AMI, the security group, which are being used by the other instances. Upon testing, you're not able to access the instance. What could it possibly be? So it says here, I've launched 5th instance using the same subnet. Amazon machine, image, and security group, which are being used. Upon testing, you're not able to access. Not the placement group. Non-default public subnet. I'm gonna say it's the Elastic IP. Your manager has asked you to deploy a mobile application that can collect votes for a popular singing competition. Millions of users from around the world will submit votes using their mobile phones. These votes must be collected and stored in a highly scalable and highly available data store, which will be queried for real-time ranking. Which of the following combination of services should you use to meet the requirement? Submit votes? Collected and stored? Real-time ranking? I mean, let's get things out of the way, okay? Cognito definitely not with Aurora. MQ and RDS possible. I think that's nice. Redshift sounds like a great thing if it's massive amounts of data and you gotta get stats out of it. I don't know what Mobile Hub is. And then DynamoDB and AppSync. I thought AppSync was something that pushed things out back to the users. So it's either the, I don't know, this is a tough one. Millions of users around the world will submit votes. These votes must be collected and stored in a highly scalable, highly available data store. Well, that's DynamoDB for you. I don't know if Redshift will make it. I'm just gonna say it's DynamoDB and AppSync for now. Whatever. That reminds me, Notepad time. Notepad life. You were recently promoted to a tech lead role in your DevOps team. The company has an existing VPC which is quite unutilized for the past few months. The business manager instructed you to integrate your on-premise data center and your VPC. Alright. You explain the list of tasks that you'll be doing and mentioned about a virtual private network connection. The business manager is not tech savvy, but he is interested to know what a VPN is and its benefits. What is the major advantage of having a VPN in AWS? You can provision unlimited number of Amazon S3 and Glacier resources. Yeah, that's the best major advantage. I mean, this is the obvious answer. You are a solutions architect for your company's AWS account of approximately 300 IAM users. We have a new company policy that will change the access of 100 of the IAM users to have a particular sort of access to S3 buckets. What will you do to avoid time-consuming task of applying a policy to the individual user? I don't think you can apply policies to IAM groups. Sorry, that's not possible. Create a new policy applied to multiple IAM users using a shell script. Create a new S3 buckets policy with unlimited access for each. Create a new IAM role and add each user's role. I would say that. This is okay too, but the role is nice. You are a solutions architect for a global news company. You are configuring a fleet of EC2 instances in a subnet, which is currently in the VPC with the internet gateway attached. All of these EC2 instances can be accessed from the internet. You then launch another subnet and launch an EC2 instance on it. However, you're not able to access EC2 instances from the internet. Well, why is that? What could be the possible reasons for this? Choose two. The EC2 instance does not have a public IP address associated with it. That's possible. Is not a member of the same autoscaling group. I don't think that matters. The EC2 instance is running in availability zone does not support internet access. I don't know about that. The routing table is not configured properly to send traffic from the EC2 instance to the internet through the internet gateway. The route table is not configured properly through the customer gateway. I'm going to say this or this and move on. You're working for a data analytics company as a software engineer, which is a client that is setting up an innovative checkout-free grocery store. A checkout-free grocery store. You develop a monitoring application that uses smart sensors. It's gonna be some IoT shit. But anyway, there's no IoT things. Which has a client setting up an innovative checkout. But you develop a monitoring application that uses smart sensors to collect the items that your customers are getting from the groceries, refrigerators, and shelves, then automatically maps it to their account. To know more about the buying behavior of your customers, you want to analyze the items that are constantly being bought and store the results in S3 for durable storage. What services can you use to easily capture, transform, and load streaming data into Amazon S3, Amazon Elasticsearch Service, and Splunk? Oh, man. I don't know what Macy does, but probably this Kinesis Data Firehose, but I'm unsure. I'm not going to look over it too long. A large financial company has recently adopted a hybrid cloud architecture to integrate their on-prem data center and their AWS cloud. Your manager has instructed you to create a new VPC network topology which must support all internet-facing web applications as well as internally-facing applications that is accessed by employees over the VPN, only over the VPN, to ensure high availability and fault tolerance. Both of their internet-facing and internally-facing financial applications must be able to leverage at least 2 AZs for higher availability. What is the minimum number of subnets you need to create within your VPC to accommodate these? Well, internal apps and externally facing, but only over VPN. You might need at least 2 AZs. I guess 2 for each AZ. I don't know. I would guess 2 or 4. Two or 4. I'm gonna say 4. Just YOLO it. A manufacturing company has EC2 instances running in AWS. The EC2 instances are configured with auto scaling. There are a lot of requests being lost because of too much load on the servers. The auto scaling is launching new EC2 instances to take load accordingly, yet there are still some requests that are being lost. Which of the following is the most cost-effective solution to avoid losing a recently submitted request? An SQS queue. I like the idea of use SQSQ. SQSQ to decouple. Moving on. Oh boy, what's this? They're getting fancy. They're putting images. That's not going to be on a test. You have an on-demand EC2 instance located in a subnet in AWS which hosts a web app. Okay, on-demand EC2 instance is located in a subnet in AWS which hosts a web app. The security group attached to this EC2 instance has the following inbound rules. Okay. The route table attached to the VPC is shown below. You can establish an SSH connection into the EC2 instance from the internet. However, you are not able to connect to the web server using your Chrome browser. Wow, that's cool. To the internet gateway. Any IP to the internet gateway. Which of the below steps would you resolve the issue? I would add a HTTP rule. That's what I would do. Alright, whatever. In this security, yeah, let's just do that. You're working for a startup. Oh, did I choose multiple? No, just one. You're working for a startup as its AWS chief architect. You are currently assigned on a project that develops an online registration platform for events, which uses simple workflow for complete control of your orchestration logic. A decider ingests the a decider? What? I need to reread. You're working for a startup as its chief architect. You are currently assigned on a project that develops online registration platform for events, which uses a simple workflow for complete control of your orchestration logic. A decider ingests the custom. Okay, I guess the deciders are simple workflow stuff. The decider ingests the customer's name, address, contact number, and email address, while the activity workers update the customer with the status of their online application status via email. Recently, you are having problems with your online registration platform, which was solved by checking the decision task of your workflow. In SWF, what is the purpose of a decision task? It has to just tell the decider the state of the workflow execution. I think that would be it. You are a solutions architect in your company where you are tasked to set up a cloud infrastructure in the planning. It was discussed that you will need 2 EC2 instances which should continuously run for 3 years. The CPU utilization of the EC2 instances is also expected to be stable and predictable. What is most cost effective? So you got 2 years. Oh, 3 years. Yeah, you got to do the reserved instances then. You're working as a solutions architect for aerospace manufacturer which heavily uses AWS. They are running a cluster of multi-tier apps that spans across multiple servers for your wind simulation model and how it affects your state-of-the-art wind designs. Currently, you're experiencing slowdown in your applications. Upon further investigation, it was discovered that that's due to latency issues. Which of the following EC2 features should you use to optimize performance for a compute cluster that requires low network latency? So the EC2 features, that's not AWS Direct Connect. Multi-availability. Placement groups might be what you want here. AWS placement groups. Determines how instances are organized. But what kind do you have? Clustered. Packs instances close together inside of AZ. The strategy enables workloads to achieve low latency network performance necessary for tight coupled node-to-node communication, typical of HPC applications. Partition spreads your instances called logic partitions, such as groups. Strategy typically used in large distributed replicated workloads, and spread across distinct underlying hardware for availability, I guess. Placement groups. You installed sensors to track the number of visitors that go to a park. The data is sent every day to Amazon Kinesis Stream with default settings for processing, in which a customer is configured to process the data every other day. Every other day. You notice that your S3 bucket is now receiving all the data that is being sent to the Kinesis stream. You check the sensors, they are properly sending the data to Kinesis and verify the data is indeed sent every day. What could be the reason for this? No. That's not true. Your AWS account was hacked and someone has deleted some data. By default, the data, this has to be the only logical answer is by process of elimination. First off, you're saying there's no problem with the sensors. They are properly sending the data, and there's a problem with sensors. That's wrong. Default S3 stores data for 1 day and moves it to Glacier. I doubt that. No way. Your AWS account was hacked. This doesn't make any sense either. So by default, the data records are only accessible for 24 hours from the time they are added to the Kinesis stream. Alright. You are automating the creation of EC2 instances in your VPC. Hence, you wrote a Python script to trigger the Amazon EC2 API to request 50 instances in a single zone. However, you notice that after 20 successful requests, subsequent fails. What could be the reason? Well, you gotta select a different... No, you gotta submit a limit increase. You're working as an IT consultant for a large investment bank that generates large financial data sets with millions of rows. I'm already going to DynamoDB. Data must be stored in a columnar fashion in DynamoDB to reduce the number of disk I/O requests and reduce the amount of data needed to load from this. The bank has an existing third-party business intelligence app, so you don't need Redshift in that case. Generate daily, monthly. Okay, DynamoDB. Global online sports betting company has its popular web app hosted in AWS. They are planning to develop a new online portal for their business venture, and they hired you to implement the cloud architecture for a new online portal that will accept bets globally for world sports. You started to design the system with a relational database that runs on a single EC2 instance, which requires a single EBS volume and can support up to 3,000 IOPS. In this scenario, which Amazon EBS volume type can you use that will meet the performance? So you gotta... I don't know what supports 30,000 IOPS. You start the design system relational database runs. Accepts bids globally for world spots. Okay, I'm gonna say it has to be provision IOPS, like, cause that's a shit ton of IOPS. I know the difference between cold and SSD. HDDs for like sequential, and SSDs are random read write. I don't know. I'm gonna just bet on the provision IOPS SSD, which could be the throughput optimized HDD, but whatever. A large insurance company has an AWS account that contains 3 VPCs: Dev, UAT, and Prod. Dev, Test, and Prod in the same region. Okay, UAT is peer to both Prod and Dev using VPC peering connection. Okay, all VPCs have non-overlapping CIDR blocks. Okay. The company wants to push minor code releases from Dev to Prod to speed up time to market. Which of the following options helps the company accomplish this? Why not peer it again? Create a new entry in prod in the dev route table using VPC peering connection as a target. Yeah, create another one. Dev and prod VPCs to have overlapping CIDR blocks. That's not gonna work. Do nothing. Since the two VPCs are connected in UAT, they already have a connection to each other. Not edge to edge. Not edge to edge. It's peer to both prod to dev, so that they can't talk to each other. Edge to edge, that's what it means. Like this is an edge and this is an edge. So this edge can't talk to this edge. I would create a new VPC or maybe add a new entry. So let's create a new VPC peering. But then you'd probably have to remap it. Oh, all VPC has non-overlapping, so we're good. Okay, that helps strengthen my choice for this because it says that all the VPC have non-overlapping CIDR blocks. That means I can get away with doing the peering connection between prod and dev. Otherwise, I might have to do some ghetto like this. All right. You're working for an insurance firm as their senior solutions architect. The firm has an application which processes thousands of customer data stored in a Amazon MySQL database with multi-Z deployments, configuration for high availability in case of downtime. For the past few days, you notice an increasing trend of read and write ops, which is increasing latency of the queries to your database. You're planning to use a standby database instance to balance the read and write operations from your primary instance. When running your primary Amazon RDS instance as a multi-Z, can you use a standby instance for read and write ops? I don't know. I thought that would just help if it fails. The standby instance would just... Latency is not gonna help. Like, I feel like it will be just done for failover. Shit, dude. With all these answers, I would have to say no. I'm just gonna say no. Music company is storing data on Amazon S3. The company's security policy requires the data is encrypted at rest. Which of the following methods can achieve this? Choose two. Server-side encryption. No. Use server-side EC2 keep here. Jesus. Encrypt the data on client-side before ingesting to Amazon S3 using their own key. Alright, so you only got two options. Use SSL to encrypt the data while in transit. That's not going to do anything. It doesn't mean at rest. S3 server side encryption with customer provided keys. I mean, you could do that. Does it sound right? Use S3 bucket policies to restrict access to the data at rest. That's not going to do anything. So these two sound stupid already. S3 server side encryption with the customer provided keys. S3 server-side encryption with EC2 key pair. That doesn't sound right. It sounds like something you would do to log into S3. Maybe encrypt the data on the client side before ingesting to S3. I'm gonna pick these two. You're working for investment bank as their IT consultant. You're working with their IT team to handle the launch of a digital wallet system. The applications will run on multiple EBS-backed EC2 instances, which will store the logs, transactions, and billing statements of the user in the S3 bucket. Due to tight security and compliance requirements, you are exploring options how to safely store sensitive data on the EBS volumes and S3. Which of the following options should be carried out on AWS when storing sensitive data? A lot of stuff. Enable encryption. Migrate EC2 instances from a public to private subnet. That'll be important. Enable Amazon S3 server side and client side. I would do both of these, but this you can't just do easy. You have to have it already enabled. When storing sensitive data, migrate these. I would have it running on a private subnet. So I don't know if this is a valid case because enabling EBS encryption is not what you do. EBS encryption, it's something that, depending on what the answer is, EBS encryption is something you have to have before you do anything, I think. Offers straightforward encryption solution for EBS volume. Doesn't require to build, maintain, and secure your own key management, blah, 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 whatever. When you create encrypted EBS volume, you have to create it. You can't just flick it onto something that's already. Newly created EBS resources are encrypted by your accounts. Blah, blah, blah. You can convert EBS to encrypted EBS. You have to make a copy. Yeah, there's no other way to do it. You can't just... I would definitely put it on the private subnet, but... But it would make sense not to just say go ahead and encrypt them. So I'm gonna leave these two because this would imply that my EBS volumes are not gonna be encrypted and my S3 are if I choose this. But ideally I choose this too. A document sharing website is using AWS as its cloud infrastructure. Free users can upload a total of 5 gigabytes of data, while premium users can upload as much as 5 terabytes. The application uploads the user's files, which can have a max file size of 1 terabyte. To an S3 bucket. Ooh. In this scenario, what is the best way of application to upload the large files to S3? Multi-part upload, duh. Multi-part upload, always. An architect, but then like... Whatever. Might be put since it's S3, but I'm gonna say it's the multi-part upload. An architect is managing a data analytics application which exclusively uses Amazon S3 as its data storage. Okay, whatever. For the past few weeks, the application works as expected until a new change was implemented to increase the rate at which the application updates its data. There have been reports that outdated data intermittently appears when the application accesses objects from the S3 bucket. Damn. The development team investigated the application logic and didn't find any issues. Which of the following is the most likely cause of the issue? The data analytics application is designed to fetch parts of objects from S3 buckets using range header. The data, that's too much. Most likely. The data analytics application is designed to fetch objects from S3 bucket using parallel requests. Data analytics application is designed to use atomic updates across. That would be nice if that was the case, but that's probably not the case. Designed to update its data with an object locking mechanism. Probably this. To increase the rate at which the application updates its data. If it reports outdated data, it immediately appears. Well, that means it wouldn't be atomic. And object locking would seem like an answer to this, but that would mean the rate of application updates would be slowed. It's probably this. The data analytics application is designed to fetch parts of objects from S3 bucket using a range header. I don't know, I just don't know this one. It's like a parallel request. Fuck it, next. You're working for a social media analytics company that is as its head data analyst. You want to collect gigabytes of data per second from websites and social media feeds to gain insights from data generated by its offerings and continuously improve. This might be some crazy shit. Kinesis data streams. To meet this design requirement, you have developed an application hosted on an autoscaling group of SPI instances which processes the data and stores the results in DynamoDB and Redshift. Not simple workflows, maybe Redshift, but that's analytics-ish. This, I don't even know. Data streams, my dude. It sounds like real time to me. You're working for a startup company that has resources deployed on the AWS cloud. I think this is a good time to switch over to some good music. Steam. Jesus. Oh, settings though. Fuck it. I ain't got time for that. Okay, back. You're working for a startup company that has resources deployed on the AWS cloud. Your company is now going through a set of scheduled audits by an external auditing firm for compliance, which the following services available in AWS can be utilized to help ensure the right information are present for auditing purposes. CloudTrail. I mean, it could also be CloudWatch, but I'm gonna say CloudTrail. You are working for a fintech startup in their AWS solutions as a AWS solutions architect. You deployed an application on different EC2 instances with an elastic IP address attached for easy DNS resolution and configuration. These servers are only accessed from 8 to 6 and can be stopped from 6 to 8 for cost efficiency using Lambda with a script that automates this based on tags. Okay, which of the following will occur when the EC2 VPC instance, when a EC2 VPC instance with the associated elastic IP is stopped and started? I could choose 2. Which of the following will occur when an EC2 VPC instance with the associated elastic IP is stopped and started? You're gonna lose the data, duh. I don't like all these. The elastic IP address is dissociated with the instance. I'm gonna say these. Who knows? You're working for a large IT consultancy company as a solutions architect. One of the clients is launching a file-sharing web application in AWS, which requires a durable storage service for hosting their static content to PDFs, Word documents, high-resolution images. Which of the following storage services? I'll just use S3. I don't even think about it. You don't even have to think about it. Just do S3. Fuck it. It's durable. An online stocks trading application that stores financial data in an S3 bucket has a lifecycle policy that moves older data to Glacier every month. There's a strict compliance requirement where a surprise audit can happen at any time. You should be able to retrieve the required data under 15 minutes. Under all circumstances. Wow. Your manager instructed you to ensure the retrieval capacity is available when you need it and should handle up to 150 megabytes per second of retrieval throughput. Which of the following should you do to meet the above requirement? I don't know what you can do. I have to look this up. Some companies in highly regulated industries like financial, healthcare, and others write data directly to Amazon Glacier to satisfy compliance needs like SecRule. Many S3 users have lifecycle policies designed to save on storage costs by moving their data into Glacier when they no longer need access. Most of these. Okay, well, what's the point? If you want to make use of data stored in those. Glacier Selected is available in all commercial regions. Give away data scan, blah, blah, blah. Pricing for each dimension is determined by speed at which you want your results to return: expedited, standard, and bulk. Okay, expedited is 1 to 5 minutes. Soon in 2018, Athena will be integrated with Glacier using Glacier Select. Select. Well, I know one of them is expedited retrieval. Bulk is bad then, I just learned. Bulk is 5 to 12 hours. Provision retrieval capacity. Provision retrieval capacity. I'm gonna say that now. I'm gonna say provision retrieval or expedited retrieval. You're working as an IT consultant for a large media company where you are tasked to design a web application that stores static assets in a Amazon simple S3 bucket. Whatever. You expect this S3 bucket to immediately receive over 2,000 put requests to 500 get requests per second peak per hour. What should you do to ensure optimal performance? Use a glacier, my dude. I really don't know this, but maybe S3 can manage the performance of the skill. I'm gonna say do nothing. You're working as a solutions architect for a multinational financial firm. They have a global online trading platform in which the users from all over the world regularly upload terabytes of transactional data to a centralized S3 bucket. What AWS feature should you use in your present system to improve throughput and ensure consistently fast data transfer to the S3 bucket regardless of your user location? Direct, oh, regardless, if we could all pay for direct connect, that'd be nice. Who's doing? They have an online trading platform which the users from all over the world. I have to look this up. S3 transfer acceleration. I like this. Optimize network paths. That's good. So it's S3 transfer acceleration. You are a solutions architect working for a financial company. Your manager wants to have the ability to automatically transfer obsolete data from their S3 bucket to a low-cost storage system. What is the best solution? Glacier. This is dumb. Lifecycle policy in S3. I'm done. I'm not even gonna try thinking about the other one. You're designing a social media website for a startup company and the founders want to know ways to mitigate distributed denial of service attack. Whoa, you're gonna use Shield. Which of the two following are not viable mitigation techniques? Use a dedicated EC2 instance to ensure each instance has maximum performance possible. That's stupid, but add multiple lasting network interfaces to each instance, increasing network bandwidth. That's good. Use Amazon CloudFront Service for both static and dynamic content. Use application load balancer with autoscaling groups for your EC2 instances. Use application load balancer with autoscaling groups for your EC2 instances and restrict direct internet traffic to your RDS disk. With autoscaling groups for EC2 instances, that's gonna cost so much money. These all EC2 instance hacks are expensive. They're not good. But yeah, ENIs probably cost less than CloudFront, and all these are networking related. You're working for a tech company that uses a lot of EBS volumes for their EC2 instances. An incident occurred that requires you to delete EBS volumes and recreate them again. What step should you do before you delete the volume? This is so stupid. Snapshot the volume. One of your clients is leveraging an Amazon S3 in the Southeast 1 region, Asia Pacific Southeast 1 region, to store their training videos for their employees' onboarding process. The client is storing videos using standard storage class. Where is your client's training video being replicated? If they're doing it in S3, it's gonna get replicated. Multiple facilities. It's possible it's going to EU Central 1. I thought S3 buckets were global. So I don't know. I think just multiple facilities in AP Southeast 1. But who knows? I just don't know that one. Your company has recently deployed a new web application which uses a serverless-based architecture in AWS. Your manager instructed you to employ CloudWatch metrics to monitor your systems more efficiently. You know that Lambda automatically monitors functions on your behalf and reports metrics through Amazon CloudWatch. In this scenario, what types of data do these metrics monitor? Dead letter Q, my ass. Errors and invocations. I don't know about anything else. Fuck that. Okay. The company is hosting EC2 instances that are non-production on a non-production environment and processing non-priority batch loads, which can be interrupted at any time. What is the best instance purchasing option which can be applied to your EC2 instance in this case? Definitely not reserved. On demand, I guess. Interrupt at any time? Spot then. Might cost more, but who knows? I'll try spot. Why not? You're working as a solutions architect for a leading airline company where you're building a decoupled application in AWS using EC2, autoscaling group, S3, and SQS. You design the architecture in such a way that EC2 instances will consume messages from the SQS queue, will automatically scale up or down based on the number of messages in queue. In this scenario, which of the following statements is false about SQS? Standard queues provide at least once delivery, which means that each message is delivered at least once. That's true. Standard queues preserve the order of messages. Amazon SQS can help you build a distributed application. Help you provide exactly once processing. I don't know if that's true. I don't think FIFO is exactly once. That's what I'm gonna type it in. SQS FIFO. Alright, I guess it is. I think maybe standard queues don't preserve order. That's what I think it is now. However, because standard queues are designed to be massively scalable, receiving messages in exact order their sent is not guaranteed. There we go. That's not true. The media company that you're working for has a video transcoding application running on Amazon EC2. Each EC2 instance pulls a queue to find out which video should be transcoded and then runs a transcoding process. This process is interrupted. The video will be transcoded by another instance based on the queuing system. This application has a large backlog of videos which need to be transcoded. Your manager would like to reduce this backlog by adding more EC2 instances. However, these instances are only needed until the backlog is reduced. I mean, cost effective? On demand, my dude. You currently have a augmented reality mobile game which has a serverless backend. It is using a DynamoDB payable which was launched using AWS CLI to store all the user data information gathered from players and a Lambda function to pull the data from DynamoDB. The game is being used by millions of users each day to read and store data. How would you design an application to improve its overall performance and make it more scalable? DAX, my dude. The auto scaling is enabled and increase the maximum provision. I mean, I don't know about auto scaling though. That doesn't exist. Configure CloudFront with DynamoDB as its origin. Cache frequently access data on client device using Elasticache. Use no. Use API gateway in conjunction with Lambda to turn on the caching of frequently access data. Enable DynamoDB global replication. No such thing. Since autoscaling is enabled by default, the provision rewrite capacity will adjust automatically. There we go. These sound great. Alright. Enable DAX to improve the performance of I'm gonna agree with this one. But I don't know about auto scaling. DynamoDB auto scaling. Alright, I'm gonna choose these two. Fuck it. Well, only two, right? Okay. The online job site is using Nginx for its application servers, host and EC2 instances, and MongoDB Atlas for its database tier. An online job site is using Nginx for its application servers hosted in EC2 instances and MongoDB Atlas for its database tier. Atlas is fully automated third-party cloud service. Cloud service which is not provided by AWS but supports VPC peering to connect to your VPC. Which of the following items are invalid VPC configurations? Nginx.
Gotta be worth it. You don't gotta be perfect.
I'm gonna say these two. I don't know. You're a new solutions architect in your company. Upon checking the existing inbound rules of your network article, you saw this config. Allow everyone. And then, what am I doing? Deny.
Everybody doubted me, but girl, you stuck around. And you told me if I hold you, you gon' hold me down. You don't gotta be perfect.
Deny one IP. The computer with IP address sends a request to VPC. What will happen? It will be allowed, and then after a while, the connection will be denied. Initially, be denied. You're working as a cloud engineer for a top aerospace engineer firm. One of your tasks is set up a document storage system using S3 for all the engineering files. In S3, which of the following statements are true? I got two. Total volume of data, number of objects you can store is unlimited. True. Largest objects that be uploaded in a single put is 5 terabytes. Maybe. S3 is an object storage service that provides file system access semantics such as strong consistency and file locking to concurrent accessible storage. I don't know, you can only store zip and tar files, not true. The largest object that can be uploaded and put is 5 gigs. Largest put S3. I think it's 5 terabytes. Yeah. The largest object that can be uploaded in a single put is 5 gigs, so that was wrong. Multi-part is 5 terabytes, and one put is 5 gigs. So that would mean this is wrong just because a single put can't do 5 terabytes. I need to write that down then. S3. Largest put is 5 gigabytes. Largest multi-part upload is 5 terabytes. Put that off to the side. I'm goofing everything up. Next. You're setting up a cloud architecture for an international money transfer service to be deployed in AWS, which will have thousands of users around the globe. The service should be available 24/7 to avoid any business disruption and should be resilient enough to handle an outage of an entire region. Oh, damn. To meet this requirement, you have deployed your AWS resources to multiple regions. You need to use Route 53 and configure it to set all your resources to be available all the time as much as possible. When it's unavailable, Route 53 should detect that it's unhealthy and stop including it when responding to queries. Which of the following is the most fault-tolerant routing configuration that you should use? And this I do not know, gentlemen. But let's see. Active failover weighted routing. Active weighted records. No. Active failover with one primary and secondary resource. I'm gonna say this. The other ones don't sound right. You're working as a solutions architect for a global game development company. They have a web app currently running on 20 instances, part of Autoscaling Group. All 20 instances have been running a maximum of 100% CPU utilization for 40 minutes. However, the Autoscaling Group has not added any additional instances, which could be a root cause. What could be the root cause? You already have 20 on-demand instances. Dreams and aspirations, them gone to waste. What the fuck gonna think? Getting this is a game. When you pull up on a concrete in a blood in a pain. Girl taking a hand, high grade in a brain. Nick shot in a chest, him can't go get up again. Ma go Henny Garrison, still have my watch on my chain. You are working as a solutions architect for global game development company. They have a web application currently running on 20 EC2 instances as part of Autoscaling Group. All 20 are being run at a maximum 100% for the past 40 minutes. However, the Autoscaling Group has not added any additional EC2, so maybe the max is 20. The scale-up policy of Autoscaling Group, which is based on the average CPU. Bullshit, because it's at 100%. You're using burstable instances which have ability to sustain high CPU performance of more than 40 minutes, which in effect suspends your scale-up policy. You already have 20 on-demand instances running in your entire VPC. You're gonna have to get a limit increase. That's what I think it is. The maximum size of your Autoscaling Group is set to 20. Just leave it at that. A new online banking platform has been redesigned to have microservices architecture in which complex applications are decomposed into smaller independent services. The new platform is using Docker, considering the application containers are optimal for running small, decoupled services. Which service can you use to migrate? Using Docker? Which service can you use to migrate this new application to AWS? I mean, I like ECS too, but I would just say EKS. Why would you even talk about ECS? I'm just gonna say EKS. Sorry. You're working for a large telecommunications company where you need to run analytics against all combined log files from your application load balancer as part of your regulatory requirements. Which AWS services can be used together to collect logs and then easily perform log analysis? This could be good because you have to assign subnets to lambdas, so it's very possible. I'm gonna say it's these two. A few more. You are a solutions arc working for aerospace engineering company which recently adopted a hybrid cloud infrastructure with AWS. One of your tasks is to launch a VPC with both public and private subnets for their EC2 instances as well as their database instance respectively. Database in private and then EC2 in public. And a private subnet can communicate with the internet only if they have elastic IP. I think so. The allowed block size in VPC is between. I can't even process this. I can't even process this right now in my head. I'm gonna say each subnet spans to 2 availability zones. Every subnet that you create is automatically associated with the main route table of VC. But they're not going to private. One of the launch VPC with both public and private subnets for their EC2 instances as well as database. If you put them in private, alright, whatever. I think it's easy. I'm gonna move on. You're working as a solutions architect for a tech company where you're instructed to build a web architecture using on-demand EC2 instances and a database in AWS. However, due to the budget constraints, the company instructed you to choose a database service which they no longer need to worry about database management tasks such as hardware and software provisioning, setup, configuration, scaling, and backups. They don't have to worry about setup, configuration, scaling, and backups. I mean, I say Dynamo, man. I don't know if RDS matters, but I say Dynamo. I don't know. Maybe both. Set up? Yeah, fuck it. It could be Dynamo, it could be RDS. But then it says something like scaling backups. I know Dynamo does that, so I'm not gonna do RDS. You're a solutions architect for a major TV network. They have a web application running on 8 Amazon EC2 instances, consuming about 55% of the resources on each instance. You're all using auto-scaling to make sure that the 8 instances are running at all times. Number of requests that this application processes are consistent and do not experience spikes. Your manager instructed you to ensure high availability for this web application at all times to avoid any loss of revenue. You want to load to be distributed evenly in all instances. You also want to use the same Amazon image for each instance. Okay. Want to use the same image for all these 2 instances. How will you be able to achieve this? Wait. I need to make it more available, that's all. No, that doesn't make it. Deploy 4 to auto scaling in one region and 4 in another region behind the ELB. That sounds good. Deploy 4 instances while scaling in one zone and 4 in another zone. In the same region? Why? Alright. What? Deploy 4 instances with auto scaling in one available zone and 4 in another available zone in the same region. I don't know if he can go between regions, but with the ELB. Deploy 2 instances and auto scaling in 4 regions. I don't know if he can get away with doing other regions. So I'm just gonna say availability zones. 60 out of 65. Your IT manager instructed you to set up a bastion host in the cheapest, most secure way that you should be the only person that can access it via Sage. Which of the following steps should satisfy? Sounds good. 61. In Amazon EC2, you can manage your. Okay, whoa, it says in that you should be the only person. Okay, only person. In EC2, you can manage your instances from the moment you launch them up to their termination. You can flexibly control your computing costs by changing the EC2 instance state. Which of the following statements is true regarding the billing? But this answer speaks to the question, which says that you're using an ALB. Upload all SSL certificates of the domains in the ALB using. Okay, wait. This is a tricky question because sometimes I think I would answer this, but if you can, yeah, I'm gonna say it's this. I'm going to finish the test in a second. Results back after I come back. Okay. Let us review by finishing the test. Oh look, a 76% passed after drinking some wine. Ooh. What did I fail on? IAM, UCS EMR. Alright, cute. Alright, we're reviewing the questions, old-fashioned style, whatever. Attempt 1. A VPC is a non-associated. Okay. Because the Veeam route table sends the subnet traffic that is destined for the internet to the internet gateway, you can make a default subnet into a private subnet by removing. Oh, I don't care about this. Yeah, whatever, I don't care about this. Got this one wrong. It says you are a solutions architect for a company, blah blah, 300 IAM users. They have a new company policy to change 100 of the users. It says create a group and then apply the policy to a group. I didn't even know that was possible. The best option is to group the set of users in an IAM group and then apply the policy to the group. This will enable easy add, remove, manage users. It says whatever, fuck it. In this scenario, the requirement is to have at least 2 availability zones for internet-facing public and internally-facing private apps. Remember that one subnet is mapped into one specific availability zone. I got that one wrong later. Since we need to have at least 2 public and 2 private subnets, the correct answer is okay. Well. 2 public, 2 private. I need to reread this. So it says, what is the minimum number of subnets that I need created my VPC? And it's saying that there's going to be 2 AZs for each. And it says if it's 2 AZs each for each for each VPC, public and private. one something is mapped to one zone. I can't even think right now. Two here and two here. I'm working at an IT consultant for a large investment bank that generates large financial data sets with millions of rows. There's blah 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 blah. The bank is existing third-party business intelligence app. Sorry, what is the best storage service to meet it? It says Redshift is fast, scalable data warehouse that makes it simple and cost-effective to analyze all your data across. Redshift delivers 10 times faster performance than other data warehouses by using machine learning. Massively parallel query execution. Columnar storage on high performance. Columnar. That's good to know. In this scenario, there is a requirement to have a storage service which is used by a business intelligence app. So the data must be stored in columnar fashion. And business intelligence reporting systems is a type of online analytics processing which is Redshift is known to support. In addition, Redshift also provides columnar storage, unlike other options. Hence, the correct answer in this scenario is 1. Okay. But why wouldn't the HDD one work? Alright. No. An architect is managing a data analytics application which exclusively uses S3 as a data storage for past few weeks. The application works as expected until a new change was implemented and increased the rate at which the application updated its data. There have been reports of outdated data. So why is it outdated? This is the application is designed to fetch objects from S3 bucket using parallel requests. Amazon S3 provides read after write consistency for puts of new objects in your S3 bucket in all regions, with one caveat: if you make a head or get requests to the key name to find if the object exists before creating the object. Amazon S3 provides eventual consistency for read after write. Amazon S3 offers eventual consistency for overwrite puts and deletes in all regions. I don't get it. It writes Ruby as the color. Then it reads it, but boom. Updates to single key are atomic. For example, you put to existing key. What's else going to read might return the old data. Takes some time. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Read after write consistency for puts. For all puts, but if you're trying to do a get, I want to read that. This one's like, what would you use to process large streams? Fuck it. Got this one wrong, so let's go. You're working for a fintech startup. You deployed an app on different EC2 instances with elastic IP address attached for easy DNS resolution configuration. These servers are only accessed from 8 to 6 and can be stopped from 6 to 8. For cost efficiency, using Lambda with the script automates this based on tags. Which the following will occur when the VPC when an EC2 VPC instance with an associated elastic IP is stopped. On the host for the instance is possibly changed. All data on attached volume is lost. Realize full wrong. Doesn't tell you. Since only EBS backed instances can be stopped or restarted, it is implied that the instance is EBS backed. Remember that an instance store backed instance can only be rebooted, terminated, and its data will be erased. Alright, underlining host for the instance is possibly changed. Okay, I'm gonna remember that. We'll write that down in my notes. Okay. This is durable. Durable. All right. You're designing a social media website for startup, blah blah. How do I mitigate, you know, the DDoS attacks? It says use dedicated. We're not viable. All right. So let's see why 4 is not viable. Because they are not, they're valid mitigation techniques that can be used. They are valid. Okay.
Music is not only an expression of soul, it's a carrier. Could soul be a matter of being brave enough to be vulnerable? To acknowledge the risks of being vulnerable and willingly accept them nonetheless? Music that voices deep pain, yet somehow transforms that pain into beauty.
Non-priority stuff, but Got this one wrong. This one's saying the transcoding thing. It transcodes backlogs of videos. Thank you. What EC2 instance should I use? It says Spot. I chose on demand. You require an instance that will be used in non-primary server, but as a spare compute resource. Find out polls require to interrupt if the process interrupted, the video will be transcoded by another process instead on the queuing system. Alright, that's why I have to remember that it gets interrupted. In addition, the scenario mentions that the current process is interrupted. The video can be transcoded by another instance based on the queuing system. This means that the application can gracefully handle unexpected termination of these two instances, like in the event of spawn instance termination. Alright, alright. Chill. Enable dynamic accelerator and ensure that auto scaling is enabled. Increase maximum provision of read and write. Okay, whatever. And then it shows this, but it said use API gateway and conjecture lambda to turn on the caching on frequently accessed data. I guess. Well, let's say why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is wrong. Is it correct because by default auto scaling is not enabled by DynamoDB? It's not. Alright, I gotta remember that. DDB. Auto scaling is not enabled by default. Alright. So I don't know why I didn't get that right. It says two VPCs peered to a specific CIDR block. It didn't say the same CIDR block. That's why I made the wrong implication. Your solutions are working for aerospace engineering company, which recently adopted a hybrid cloud. Okay. One of your tasks is to launch a VPC with both public and private subnets for their EC2 instances as well as their database instances, respectively. Okay, yeah. Which of the following statements are true regarding VPC subnets? I said each instances and private subnet can communicate with the internet only if they have elastic IP. Huh? And then each subnet spans 2 availability zones, which is wrong. I'd learn that later. Subnets span 1 avail AZ. Every subnet that you create is automatically associated with the main route table. So why is 1 wrong? Incorrect, because each instances in a private subnet can communicate with the internet not just by having EIP, but also a public IP address. Oh my god. By having an elastic IP or having a public IP? Subnets. Each subnet that you create is auto-associated with the main route table for the VPC. Alright, alright. Why is RDS wrong then? Why not regions? Why not 2 then? You'll be. I don't like that answer. Oh my god. Many companies that just speak content and want to restrict the document blah blah blah. For example, you have paid tier for you. Require your users access your Amazon S3 content by using CloudFront URLs, not Amazon S3 URLs. Requiring CloudFront URLs isn't necessary, but is recommended to prevent users from bypassing the restrictions. And require users access your private content by using special CloudFront. So CloudFront, everything CloudFront. So which of the following are possible solutions? So what is this telling me? Option 1 is incorrect because the signed cookies feature is primarily used if you want to provide access to multiple restricted files. For example, all the files for video in the HLS format, or all the files subscribers area of website. In addition, this is not the solution. The solution is not complete since the users can bypass restriction by simply using direct history URLs. 3 is incorrect, which is 1, 2, 3. I don't think this is true. Because you're using pre-signed URL to your S3 bucket, which will prevent other users from accessing your private data, which isn't. I don't want to talk. Fuck that question. Alright then. Alright then. I guess that's it. 3 done. 3 more to go. A total of 5 done. That was my highest that I've gotten. 76%. 76%, my dudes. 1 hour and 22 minutes. Alright. Alright, that's it, I guess. Well, peace, guys.